Hi everyone, it's great to see you. I am going to be giving you an update on some of the containers around the yard today, and we're starting with these two that I only planted up a couple days ago. So for this container, for both of them actually, they're not looking their best, which is absolutely fine. I created these urns out of my leftover plants, and I know it takes a few days for them to settle in and perk up, but there really isn't a lot of color here yet. So I was really lucky this morning to get to one of the local nurseries, and they had plants on sale. They were selling 10 sunpatiens a flat for $25. That's fabulous. That's $2.50 for one of these giant sunpatiens, which I already love and have a number around the yard. So I'm going to tie in these urns with the other plantings around the yard, and I can do it in this really inexpensive way. So yes, I just planted these up, but you might look at some of your planters that, we've gone through a lot of heat now. They might need a little something just to make them look a bit more dynamic. And now is the time to be on the lookout for those plants that you can just grab and add in to make more of a statement. So I'm going to, just sort of nestle these around a little bit. You don't have to move much, and add this in. This is a very tall sunpatient right back here, and it will fill in, and look at how it's adding some color right away. Now in front of it, I have that little baby hydrangea, which will be a beautiful centerpiece one day, but not at the moment. And then my tuberous begonia. Now because the sunpatiens have been, in the nursery a little while, I'm sort of gonna turn it so you can see a little bit more. You might have to fluff your plants out a little bit to really show off the best. And then while I was there, they had more creeping Jenny, and since this is my year of creeping Jenny and it's just doing so well, I couldn't help but grab some more of those. So I'm gonna tuck this in the front, because although you might not see it today, it's going to add that cascade over the front that I think is what it needs. Let's go do the same thing on the other side. So once again, here's one of these rather leggy sunpatiens, but that is okay. If you wanted to, and you got sunpatiens like this, you could actually trim them back a bit and they would rebloom, but I just want that immediate color. I just feel like, ooh, we just need a little something here. So we're just going to put that in the back, fluff it out a bit. That is beautiful. Now in this planter, I have the lemon coral sedum trailing in the front, so I'm going to add the creeping Jenny to the back sort of side here. I think that'll be a good place for it. And we'll start trailing over there. These already look much better, and you're talking not a lot of money, just looking for that pop of color. Let's go check the other urns. The lemon cypress trees have continued to make me very happy in these urns. Everything has settled in really well. Now I did come out and take some other creeping Jenny cuttings and sort of put them in. And you can tell that the cuttings I added look a little bit more droopy. That's really normal when you are just pinching them off from another plant and adding them in. They are going to look kind of withered up for a little while. Don't worry about that. Just keep watering them. Enough new leaves are going to come from the base where you put the roots in. They should be just fine. And I did not yet really pinch back the petunias that were getting long and leggy here. So I'm going to do that now, and it's a little painful, but we're just going to take these back shorter so that they start to bush out. I do love how these containers are looking though. I think that should do it. Let's take a look at the other one. So once again, I just want to hug the lemon cypress tree. This urn is looking gorgeous. I did not pinch back the petunias, so I'm going to do that right now. Goodbye, pretty flowers, but they'll come back. We're not going to worry about that. and I'll be able to give you another update in the future on them. It is really hard for me though to pinch them back. So if you decide not to pinch your petunias back as they're getting leggy, hey, if you don't mind, that is absolutely fine. You do what makes you happy. And then this creeping Jenny is looking really good. Look at how wilted this one is, but I can tell there's some new growth coming from here. So what I'm gonna do, sometimes when I pinch some off and I root it in, what I do if it looks like it's kind of sad, you can pinch this shorter so you have less that looks droopy, and you're going to be getting the new growth from inside here anyway. And as you're getting some new leaves, then we'll make these disappear too eventually. But worth it because you're going to get more creeping Jenny here. Now let's go look at the 2 urns that are up by the front door. The 2 biggest urns that I have are doing fabulous. Last week I added these extra supports, the bamboo pieces, and the mandevilla is twining nicely around them. I like how it's showing off the flowers on both sides. So then if you take a look at these petunias, these are the blue tiara supertunias. They're doing really well, and this year I've done a really great job of spraying them every week with BT. So they're not getting eaten. What a difference it has made. Now these just might be my favorite new additions. I'm so impressed with how well the hosta has divided, and there are some new leaves coming up. I mean, that's really what you want to see when you've transplanted something, or especially once you've divided it. If you see new leaf growth, you know that it is taking well, it's doing fine. And then we have this Aurelia cordata, and you know, the Sun King here, it's being eaten by something. Not too much on this plant, but enough that I can tell, little nibbles all around the edge. Now, when I first put these in, I did sprinkle Sluggo Max in the bottom because we have a lot of slugs around here. Even in the pots, they get up in them, and they've been eating my hostas. Now notice, not a hosta leaf is touched. The Sluggo is working great with that. I was also protecting it from earwigs, which we have a ton of earwigs. The Sluggo Max addresses earwigs. So I know that this is not earwig damage. Believe it or not, the other urn is getting even more eaten. Oh my goodness, look at this. So great news is we have some new hosta leaves. The hosta is looking fabulous. I know it's not the slugs. I know it's not the earwigs because I've treated those. Nothing is eating the hosta, but look at my poor Sun King. Something is loving it. So quite truthfully, I'm not sure what it is. My way of figuring this out is to treat the things that I think are most likely first, the slugs and the earwigs for me. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the least toxic treatment, and that would be the BT that I was saying I spray on the petunias. So BT is going to get it gets the budworms. It also gets other caterpillar type things. And we know that this is the time of year that we have little caterpillar hatchings. It's not unheard of. So I'm not seeing any, but you know, that's pretty typical with like the budworms. They only come out at night, so you wouldn't see them. And quite truthfully, I don't care enough to come out with a flashlight in the middle of the night and bug hunt. So we are going to spray them with the BT, see if that works. And then if it doesn't, I'm thinking it's probably Japanese beetles or some type of beetle, in which case they're really hard to kill safely. I might choose to spray something, but I also just might let it go too. We're gonna have to see how it goes. Fortunately, the hosta is looking so good, we can always just turn it a bit more and hide that part, and it'll be just fine. This urn has been around a couple years. I actually put the stained glass hosta in it last year, and it overwintered just beautifully. But I want you to see what I mean by slug damage and the earwig damage. That's what it looks like. This happened quite a while ago because we have a number of new uneaten leaves. So when I saw this happen, I sprinkled the Sluggo Max in here. I've done it a couple more times too. And I know that I got those little critters because the new leaves are looking so good. As you get these really nice leaves growing in, I could go in and just pluck off those that are most damaged. You know, these aren't too bad, and I figure this time of year you do have some insect damage. We're just happy that they're alive and bright and cheerful. I'm really pleased that we have gone from a little urn that didn't have any color to having some of that beautiful hot pink that I love so much in there. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.